For today's video, I'll be comparing the 2017 Mustang GT and the 2017 Camaro ZL1. This will be a two-part video series. I'd like to thank Valenti Chevrolet and Valenti Ford for allowing me to have this unique and awesome driving experience. Standard Camaro is powered by a V8 that develops around 455 horsepower. The Camaro ZL1 is a step up from the regular Camaro. It's powered by a 6.2-liter LT4 V8, which is the same engine as in the Corvette ZL1. This car develops 650 horsepower and 650 pound-feet of torque, and that power comes on very aggressively. Yet the car is extremely comfortable to drive and a lot more tame than the C06. The car comes with 4 different driving modes: snow and ice, tour, which is the most gentle mode of the car, track mode, the car gets a little bit louder, the suspension tightens up, and then track mode, which is the loudest mode of the car, the most aggressive mode, the fastest mode, and you really have to pay attention because the car bites and has great speed. And also behind the steering wheel are these paddles, and they're not paddle shifters, they're actually called Rev-Match because it's a 6-speed manual transmission. So you click the right paddle and the car will have a Rev-Match. So when you downshift, you don't have to blip the throttle, it'll blip the throttle for you. But if you click the left paddle, it'll disengage that. But because this is not my car and I want to hear that great V8 American sound, I'm going to click the right paddle and make sure that I hear that awesome Rev-Match. So we're on the highway now, I'm in 3rd gear and I'm going to give it a little bit of a blast. That was 25 miles an hour. No, but seriously, the car, the way it makes power because it's supercharged, it just comes on instantly. And I don't even think I was in the right gear there and it still just picked up, and the power that's available for the price of this car is a no-brainer. I mean, this car is around, $60,000, 650 horsepower. If you want to look at other cars with that kind of power, look at a Lamborghini Aventador. I mean, that's 700 horsepower, and that car costs upwards of $500,000. So if you're in the market for a high-performance vehicle that looks great and sounds great, handles, I would go here. And also, the car is extremely comfortable. These seats, I haven't felt uncomfortable at all. They hug your body well, especially when you go around curves, and overall, I'm very impressed with this car. I love the aggressive front end on this car, and a cool feature, if you come to the front, you can see that they cut out the Chevy badge to leave air, so all the air can go into that big, massive radiator in front. And you come around the side and you see these huge Brembo brakes that they have, and come to the back, these massive 305s to ensure that you have plenty of grip to handle that 650 horsepower. Driving the car around town in tour mode is really nice. The car is relaxed, it's not loud, the steering is really light, and it goes over bumps. I mean, it has a stiff suspension because it is a track car and it's very aggressive. It's the most aggressive form of the Camaro, but it's very easy to drive. The clutch is not heavy, shifting it is not difficult, and it just eases on. And I think that this could be a nice summer daily driver. I wouldn't want to drive this car in the winter, even though it has a snow mode, but it is very easy to drive. And also, which is nice, there's a heads-up display that tells you how fast you're going and also how fast the speed limit on the particular road that you're on. So you always have that reminder, if you're speeding or if you're whatever, it is always there, and it's great. It's illuminated, and it's one of the best heads-up displays that actually I've ever seen. So I have the car in track mode right now, and I'm on a little bit of a twisty road, and what I'm really impressed with this is the turn in. So when I'm approaching a right-hand turn now, and I turn the car in, and I can feel it just shift, go in very smoothly, and it's really not overwhelming with how much power it has. don't need to exploit all of its power. You can even put it in a higher gear and the car will still carry through because of how much torque that it has at a low RPM. So I'm on a very narrow and twisty road right now. I have the car in sport mode. I took it out of track mode, and I noticed that the suspension itself is actually a little bit softer, and I feel for a road like this you would want to keep the car in sport mode, especially with the traction control holds a little bit more because of all the power and lower gears. But I'm very surprised. For a very heavy car, this is about 3,800 pounds. It's extremely nimble on a very narrow and curvy road like this. And I think if you give the car respect, the car will respect you, especially in a situation like this. I love this car, but a couple gripes I have with it is the visibility is a little difficult. I just had to make a maneuver, and I was challenged because the A-pillar here is pretty wide, and also when I need to look back that way, I really have to lean over and look out the side. So that might be a problem. It might be because I'm a little short. If somebody was a little bit taller, it would be maybe easier for them to see, but that's just one thing to look out for. Another thing, I love how they went and they all the seats are leather, and then there's a lot of suede, but I wish they made the top of the dashboard either suede or leather, and that would have been just the perfect finishing touch for this interior. But other than that, everything is really put together nicely. Everything is in a nice spot. The stereo and everything is easy to navigate. All the controls are there, outlaid in a really easy fashion for you to see, but I just wish that this was either a leather or a suede. I have to say, I was pretty impressed when I drove the Camaro. Please join me for part 2 when I will ultimately determine what I like better, the Mustang GT or the Camaro ZL1. See ya. Bye.